Together we rise. Together we fly.
What do you do when being strong it becomes way too heavy? Let's talk about it. Can we talk about it just for a minute? Because I've been sitting with something so heavy. After I watched this film, it cracked something open inside of me. And no, this is not just about a movie, it's really about us. It's about the silent weight so many of us carry. And then what happens when that weight gets too heavy? So today I just want to talk about three women, not from a textbook, not from a stage, but an honest face to face. How about over a cup of tea or even coffee? Each woman, she reflects a different part of us. And what I want to show you is what to do and even when to do it and why it truly matters. Because becoming bold, fulfilled, and free, that's not a hashtag. That's a healing process. So let's go there. Let's go there together. Now, let me introduce you to Mariah. Mariah is the strong one. You know, the one who always holds it together. She holds it together for everybody else. But then one day, she just happens to break, and not in the way that people expect. It's not loud or even messy, but it's quiet and it's numb. Mariah, she's grieving, but she doesn't even have space to grieve. So, what does she do? In her mind, she creates an alternate version of reality just so she can cope. So, what do you do when you feel like Mariah? Could it be a good time to pause? Could it be a good time to stop pretending, stop pushing, and just acknowledge I'm not okay? And when is a good time to pause? It's a good time to pause when life starts to feel like a blur, when you're showing up, but you're not present, when you're functioning, but disconnected. And why does this matter? It matters because God didn't call you to perform. He didn't call you to perform strength. He called you to live abundantly. And guess what? Sometimes the most courageous thing that you can do is to just tell the truth. Tell the truth to yourself and also tell the truth to God. What does Mariah teach us? She teaches us that healing, it doesn't always start with movement. Sometimes it starts with just stillness. Now, let me tell you about Keisha. Keisha doesn't have a big title, she doesn't run the room, but she does see and she notices when someone is unraveling, even when that person is still smiling. Keisha, she works in a system that supports women like Mariah, but she chooses presence over protocol. So, what do when you feel that nudge in your spirit? When you know someone near you is hurting? Could it be a good time? Could it be a good time to lean in? Could it be a good time to show up with presence, with kindness, with quiet compassion? And you could do this when you feel the shift in the room, when someone's voice shakes, when someone says, don't just keep walking. And it matters because fulfillment, it isn't just about living your dream. It's also about creating safety for someone else. Creating safety for someone else while they're going through their own process, their own journey. And Keisha, she shows us that healing, it's contagious. And sometimes freedom, it looks like being there and being that safe space that you never had. Now let's talk about Tonya. Tonya, she did everything right. She followed all the rules, earned the respect, and even stayed safe. And for a long time, she judged women like Mariah. She saw them as unstable, problematic, not wanting to change, wanting to stay in the situation that they found themselves in. But then something shifted. She looked in Mariah's eyes and saw herself. So, what do you do when you realize you've become part of the very thing that once wounded you? Could it be a good time to reflect? Could it be a good time not to run from it, but to begin to sit with it and then ask, how have I helped or harmed the healing of someone else? And you could do this when the Spirit it gently shows you a blind spot. When judgment it starts to melt into your conviction. And why it matters, because true freedom it's about always, and it's not about always being right. It's about being real, and realness it leaves room for redemption. So what does Tanya remind us of? She reminds us that grace, it doesn't erase accountability, but it makes space for change, for transformation, and for healing. So let's talk about some lessons we can learn from each of these women. When we look at Mariah, who was at the breaking point, sometimes unspoken pain, it speaks, even when you can't name it. Your body, your heart, and your spirit carries the weight. And stillness is strength. Pausing, it's not weakness. It's the beginning of healing when survival is no longer sustainable. And when we look at Keisha, she's the quiet disruptor. Compassion is disruptive. And sometimes the most powerful act is seeing someone when the world looks away. You don't need a platform to make impact. Presence changes things. Your care, it carries power. And last but not least, when we look at Tanya, she was the awakening. And you can outgrow old beliefs without losing yourself. Because growth, it's not betrayal, it's alignment with truth. Humility, it heals. Accountability isn't shame. It's freedom with roots. So today, you might be Mariah, quietly breaking, or even maybe you're Keisha, offering presence in a world of pressure. Or could it be your Tanya, waking up to your own humanity? Sis, wherever you are, I need you to know you matter. Becoming bold, fulfilled, and free, it's not about getting it perfect. It's about choosing one moment of healing at a time. And Jesus reminds us in John 10:10 that he came so that we could have life and that we could have it more abundantly, not earned, not performed, but just receive. Now let's pause for a moment, not just to end this video, but to truly honor the reason behind it. These stories, these reflections, they weren't created for content. They were created as companionship for the woman walking through life with quiet strength and hidden exhaustion, for the woman just beginning to whisper her own name again after years of forgetting who she was, and even for the woman who's been doing the inner work, setting the boundaries, reclaiming her joy, and finally starting to feel free. I see you. I see all of you, each woman in a different place, but each one worthy of boldness, each one worthy of fulfillment, and each one already free, even if she's still learning how to live like it. Now, let me tell you the real reason behind these videos. It's not to fix you, It's to free you, to speak to the tired achiever, the silent struggler, and the rising warrior, to remind you that John 10:10 is more than a scripture. It's a divine invitation. I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Not someday, not when you finally get it all right, but right now, in this season, in this moment. Even if your bowl looks like quiet boundaries, even if your fulfilled feels like choosing rest over productivity, even if your free feels like it still comes with trembling hands, you are still becoming, and that is sacred. So whether you're the woman who's still holding the weight of everyone else's expectation, the woman who's walking but weary, or the woman who's found her rhythm and is finally breathing again, this space is just for you. You don't have to fit into one mold. You don't even have to arrive. You just have to be willing to keep becoming. That's the heartbeat behind it all. I'm going to say that again. That's the heartbeat behind it all. To make space for you and your humanity, to speak life into your process, to walk with you as you become your own BFF, living life bold, fulfilled, and free. So here's my invitation. Don't rush past this moment. Instead, take a moment and breathe and ask, which woman am I today? And what is the one small act of boldness, fulfillment, or freedom that I can choose right now? So just drop in the comments, not just for me, but for you. Because when you speak it, you start to believe it. And when you believe it, you start to become it. You're not behind, you're becoming. And we're doing it together.